Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States, which is 10 a.m. in Australia or 1 a.m. if you're in the UK. Do remember though, if you miss the live streams, you can catch up with the premiere event streams on a Friday and Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific time in the US, which is 7 a.m. in Australia or 10 p.m. if you're in the UK. Sniper Legmog. Wow, Legmog is here. Sniper Echo, it's good to see you, buddy. And it's good to see you too, Legmog. How you been? What you been up to? I'm just catching up with the chat here. Edo, it's good to see you as well, Edo. And I saw the updates in the gallery on the Discord, Phil Does 3D Discord server. You posted some images of the new character you're working on. It looked very cool. Legmog says, yeah, the clouds have opened up and I descended to Earth once more. Have you been well? We were all getting a bit worried about you, dude. I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you're well. And it's good to see you, though. It's good to see all you guys, Sniper Echo and Edo. How are you doing, Sniper? How's everything going with your new job and stuff? But it's good to see you, Legmog. I was telling the guys yesterday, speak of the devil, Legmog, you know how you showed your trailer on my stream a few months ago? I actually got a copyright strike on that on YouTube because you guys know all my streams get uploaded to YouTube. And yeah, they copyright strike part of your demo that you showed. I don't know why. It uses, as they said, that it used some song that I'd never heard of before. Maybe it was just one of those false positives from YouTube. You know what YouTube's like. I just thought I'd mention it to let you know, just in case, you have any problems. Edo says, echo. Sniper says, really, it was it was a copyright strike. I don't know. I'm just putting that out there for you, Legmog. It was no big deal. I mean, I accepted the strike, but yeah. Because it was part of the video that was showing Legmog's clip. I don't know. Legmog says, yes, I also got a frigging warning for that music. Yep, must have been the music that you used. Legmog was gone big time. That's right, Sniper Echo. Yeah, so just be aware of that, guys and girls. If you do upload stuff to YouTube, they do have their little bot that goes out and flags videos, and it does get it wrong because I upload a lot of stuff. You guys know. Actually, let me start my music. I don't think I've got it going. You guys know that I play music in the background, but it's all stuff that's been cleared for me to use. And even then, sometimes some of those songs will get flagged, and then I've got to go through and say, no, I have the rights to play this, and then it usually gets removed. So the bot is not too smart, the YouTube bot. Legmog says, I purchased it off pons5.com, uploaded it, and I get an email saying this is copyrighted music and you won't be able to monetize this video. Mandatory ads will appear on it for a month. For a month, usually it's forever. You couldn't believe it. You actually, well, like I said, sorry, Legmog, don't post links in Twitch chat. Otherwise, the bot will time you out. You've got to be a sub to post in Twitch chat, so don't post links in Twitch chat. You post something in Discord. If you want to post a link, Legmog, jump on the Discord because I've always got that open as well as my Twitch chat. But if you purchased it, look, I've run into the same problem. I use music from 99 Lives, which I actually purchased before they started making their music free. And even the stuff that I bought has occasionally been flagged on YouTube for copyright. Like I said, though, because I bought the right to use it, then I can actually, you can generally just, challenge the claim and it'll get removed. But you got to be careful with that stuff with YouTube, because if you challenge claims and they're not removed, you lose the challenge, then you can get strikes against your account and stuff. So yeah, you got to be really careful. It's a pain in the ass. It really is. Sniper says, Nightbot taking offense there, yeah. So sorry about that, Legmog. Legmog says, yeah, no, that must have happened when I wrote pond. Oh, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. But I put a dot, yeah. You put the dots after the com, so you put you put .com and then space and then dot. It still knows that was a link, so if you wanted to stop it, put the dot directly after the com. Because I can see the link here, actually, in my chat. Anyway, it's all good. Legmog says, yeah, it was crazy. I challenged the claim and they said if the claimant does not counter-challenge your complaint, it will go back to normal, which it did. Yeah, generally it does. I don't know, like I said, I think sometimes what it is that YouTube's little bot misidentifies the music. I'm sure that goes on a lot. Because I've had it give a claim against me for a song that wasn't actually playing. Because you see in the corner down there in my stream, it tells you the song name and the artist name. So it's easy for me to check if YouTube says that I'm using a piece of music I shouldn't, whether it's the same piece of music that's actually playing. And I've had it misidentify music as being something else that it actually isn't. So it's just a pain. It's just all of it's a pain. Legmog says, honestly, Phil, I would challenge it if it's not too late. No, that's all right. Don't worry about it, dude. It's okay. It's not a big deal. It's all good. Do not give it a second thought. I just wanted to mention it to you, and just for your benefit, in case you're using that music and you might have a problem when you start uploading it to YouTube or even trying to sell it to a network or something. Legmog said, that's terrible. I emailed the guy who put his song on Pond 5 and said, gee, I purchased your song, got all the rights, and I get copyright striked. And this man had the frigging gall to say, oh yeah, sorry about that, not much I can do about that. I'm signed up to something which does it. Legmog says, really? I'm half tempted to report this damned Pond 5 user now I hear his story. He could be right. They do, well, that's not, he should have it. He should have a way to make it not copyrighted for the people he sold it to. If he doesn't have the ability to do that, then he shouldn't be copywriting the song. Like I know 99 Lives, Monster Cat, that's a good example. You know how you can, Twitch streamers use Monster Cat, which is another music service that you can pay a monthly fee to use their music. And they actually have a system in place where you give them your Twitch or YouTube username account, and they'll make it so if any of those claims come, they'll automatically be removed. So if this guy that you bought the music from doesn't have that ability, then he should not be copywriting his music if he's selling it. So yeah, but I do know sometimes though a lot of these artists release their music under like another label, for lack of a better word, and that label is the one that controls the copyright for the music. So it might be a case that they're to blame and he's not. I don't know. Legmug says, like, really? I read that. Actually, Legmug says, like, really? He's selling stuff so people can use his songs, but it gets copyright striked, and honestly, he didn't seem to care at all when I emailed him. Well, I certainly wouldn't be buying any more music from him if that's his attitude. Legmog says, man, that sucks. I'm literally going to report this user. Anyway, it's not a big deal, Legmog. It really is not. It's all cool. It's all sorted. I wasn't stressed about it or anything like that. So don't worry about it. It was fine. I only mention it because I wanted to let you know in case you had problems. But you've obviously had problems, so you know. Smetberry, it's good to see you. Yes, holy crap, it is Legmog. Can you believe it? He's finally resurfaced. But I'm glad you're well, Legmog. We were getting worried. It's good to see you. And like I said, Sniper Echo, I hope everything is going well with your new job. We're going to be jumping into Eon View today. I want to just check what's going on with my email over here. I'm just going to change something here. Do that. You know, work, they never leave me alone. It always seems to be when I start streaming that they want to contact me. Go figure. I have my email open all the time as well. Maybe I should. maybe that's the solution. Don't open your email. Yes, we're going to be working in Eon View today. We're going to be creating a 3D environment for the model that we made in 3D Studio Max. Yes, okay. Let's start by importing the model, shall we? We want the Temple of the Winds FBX file we exported yesterday. Legmo says, I like the idea of Smurf coming into the chat and seeing a wall of text and text paragraphs and thinking, yep, Legmo's back. Smurfery says, we thought you got harvested for organs. We did. We did think that. Because the last time we spoke to you, you were talking to some girl in another country. You were talking about visiting some girl in another country. Legmog says, so do any of you watch those BBC David Attenborough? No, yes, documentaries? Yes, I do. Like Planet Earth and Blue Planet. The BBC is releasing a big flagship nature doc show in October. Oh, you worked on that. Cool. Yes, I do watch Mr. David Attenborough's documentaries. The BBC, they do amazing camera work on all of his docos. I've always been really impressed with the camera stuff that you see in the documentaries. It's always really nicely done. Just going to pull back here because we're a bit close, and we're going to pull the model up. There we go. Pull it back a little bit more. Maybe just pull in just a little bit more. We might move around to this side where the lighting's a little bit better, so we're not completely in shadow. Okay, now we have to set up PBR materials for this model because it's not currently using PBR. We have to specifically create our PBR shaders. That's what we're going to do. So it's just using the diffuse map here at the moment. But that's really cool that you worked on that. Edo says, left me on re. What do you mean, Edo? What's going on, Edo? Explain. Edo says, Echo left me on re. You know I did respond to you, Edo. I mentioned you in the chat. I mentioned, it was you, wasn't it? I'm not getting confused. Or am I getting, yeah. Yes, no, it's you. You posted those new images in Discord. Edo. Legmog says, oh my god, I have updates on that girl from another country, literally from this weekend. Oh, okay. Yes, watch out for the 7 worlds, 1 planet. There's some CG shots of the Earth from space, which I worked on. I'll keep an eye out, actually. I definitely will, because I always do watch his docos. And that's really cool. Cool thing to be working on. Sniper says, yes, it is very nice. Edo says, Sniper Echo never... Oh, it was Sniper Echo. Well, there you go. I'm not to blame. Sniper Echo's to blame. But now he's back. That's right. So let's set up some of these shaders, shall we? So what we have to do here is, now you know that when we exported this model, I exported it so that these decorative pieces around the outside are separate objects, and so are the lions, as well as the fountain in the middle. That's why we have all these sub-objects here. But we're just going to deal with the entire thing at this stage. I'm going to open up my material. And at the moment it's set to a simple material. Legmog says the sniper Echo won't be able to respond for a while. I heard he moved into a house which was designed by Phil and he desperately needed the toilet, but realised there was none, so now he's desperately trying to find a public loo. Oh, dude, you get such a Phil slap. Smart ass. You know, Legmog, I'm actually turning that. I'm working with a studio, and we're going to turn that that house into a game. So that's what's going on. The next streams, once we finish this project we're working on right now, you see right behind me, is going to be working back in UE4 to create the game, the House in the Hollow game. Legmog says, yes, let's just say I got verbally torn to shreds by this girl over WhatsApp. Oh, pardon me. Never before in my entire life have I had such a dressing down and a venomous character assassination. Now, Legmog, this is not the first girl that you've upset. Now, we have to assume that it's not the girls, it's you. What are you doing to upset all of these women? Pardon me, guys, I've just got a tickle in my throat. Yes, what are you doing to all these women, Legmog, that you're upsetting them so much? Here's the deal. Okay, Legmog's going to tell us the deal. Tell us the deal, dude. Watch him try and justify his actions now. What is this? This is... I'm just going to mute my mic for a sec while I cough so I don't annoy you all. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. Tell us the deal, Legmog. Come on. Deco earn. Oh, okay, it's those things. All right. I'm not going to create a PBR material for these because they don't need one. No, they don't. They don't really. It's stone. You can create PBR for stone, but I'm not going to do that for these pieces. The lighter red, when I change materials here, the color that's light red is the actual object that the material is assigned to. So as I go through the different materials, you'll see that light red change to different bits of the model. That's how you can tell what the texture belongs to once you've attached everything together. Legmog says, we've been talking online since February, and nearly the entire time we've agreed to go on a date. Almost happened back in summer in London. And I said, how about I come to Belgium and we can finally have our date? That sounds fine. That sounds reasonable. Okay. Nothing bad so far. Keep going. I'm going to change this to a map picture and we're going to load up the normal map for this one. As soon as I can find, there it is. Deco earn normal. That's all good. Let's move on to the next shader. Okay, these are the fountain, I believe. And this one's, I don't think, going to have line on you. Yep, let's assign a normal map to this one as well. And let's move on to the next shader. And this one is going to be a PBR shader, earn center base color. So we're going to change this from a simple material to a PBR material. And what's it called again? Earn center base color. Let's load up the normal map for that. And we also need to pull in the metal map. And the roughness map. Okay. Legmog says she agreed. So Legmog says, so like she agreed. My interpretation of a date is like two consenting parties meeting to socialise with an underlying understanding that you're both kind of scoping each other out to see if there's a romantic spark, and if a spark is established, exploring that. Okay. Edo says I'm retopologizing at the moment. You're having problems doing your retopology, Edo. Legmog says, like, am I crazy with that? I feel like my above definition is pretty universally under. No, that sounds fine to me. So far, I don't see a problem. What else did you do though? What else did you say, Legmog? Come on. This line earn, I believe, has PBR. I think. Let's pull in the bump, because I know it has a bump. It has a normal map, I should say. Which one is it is the next question, because I've got two here. I'm just going to double check again which one I'm actually looking for. I'm looking for the Lion Statue Gauze export. Okay. Lion Statue Gauze. Oh, it's Lion Urn. I'm getting confused. Okay, this is the one we want, and it's not PBR because again it's stone. So. But you are right. It does seem, you know, so far it all seems quite reasonable, Legmog. I can't fault you yet. Yeah. This is Gauze Export Temp. Why did I name all these Gauze? It's because I took them into ZBrush. Gauze X Temp Matte. So this one is a PBR. So we'll pull in the normal map, we'll change it to a PBR material, and we'll load up the metalness map. There's that one, and the roughness map. That's the ambient occlusion. And that's the roughness map. Legmog says, so it's all set. I'm like this close to booking flights, but right before I do, the girl suddenly starts sending a few messages about how she just really wants to establish friendship, using very let's just be friends kind of messages, which is cool and everything, but then like it's not really a date then in my eyes. Well, and then Mog says, and while I'm certainly crazy enough to visit Belgium for a date, I'm really not too keen to fly all the way there just for a coffee and a chat. Well, I don't know what to say to that, Legmog. I can understand her point of view. She doesn't want to be pressured into more than just a coffee and a chat, if you know what I mean. And I know, look, I can see where you're coming from too. It's a long way to fly for a coffee and a chat. But she's just being careful, I think. She's just making it clear to you that if you fly over and you guys go on your date, that it's until you both agree on otherwise and you're just friends. But I can understand you not wanting to go. That's a decision that you're going to have to make. I don't think she's being unreasonable. I'm sorry, I don't. I'm not saying I think you're being unreasonable, but yeah. Legmog says, yeah, absolutely was not going to go into this with any or master plan to push or force any issues of okay, fine, that's fine, good. So as long as you're not doing that, so well, what's the problem then with flying over and having a coffee and a chat? Because she can't say that she wants to be your girlfriend until she's actually met you in the flesh. I mean, come on. I don't think she's being unreasonable. Ido says, if you have enough time to talk to women, you should be modelling. That's right. That's exactly right, Ido. You are right. If he's got so much free time, you should be using it animating. Hone your skills. Legmog says, and if we did go on a date and there was no spark and it was just a friendship, then that would be, well, that's fine. Then what's your issue? What's the issue, Legmog? Come on. She's just trying to make it clear to you, I think, if you do fly over to see her, that she's it's just as a friend because she doesn't know you yet, you know? Romance takes time, a little bit of time. So I think I think she's just trying to make it clear to you that don't fly over here thinking we're going to jump in the sack or anything like that. And I'm, because I want to get to know you, so come over as a friend and we'll take it from there. That's the impression I get anyway from what you're saying. Smirkberry says, look at Mr. Money over here, Phil, with money to fly places for coffee. I don't do this sort of thing. I do not fly. I don't date people I meet online. That's just not the way I work. Generally. No, I don't. Dime iron work. So I'm not Mr. Moneybags. I don't fly all over the world meeting people for coffee. And yeah. We want the normal map. And we want to change it to a PBR. And we want the metal map. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with flying all over the world to meet people for coffee. If that's your thing, that's completely fine. Yeah. And the roughness map. Okay, and you can see highlighted in lighter red is the object that we're changing. Every time I change the material, that gets changed to the next object. And this one is dome ring lower. We want the normal map. PBR material. Dome ring lower metallic, that's the one we want. And roughness. Dome ring lower roughness. Legmog says, but like I still nonetheless saw this as a date and was at least open to exploring any, well, I think she is any spark if that happened to be one, but she definitely seemed to be making a firm stance on this is only ever going to be a friendship thing and that's it. Oh, well, okay. If she's sort of saying, if she's completely ruling out any sort of romance, then that's different. I mean, I thought she was saying, oh, look, come over as a friend because she doesn't know you and she wants to get to know you before she could consider you as a boyfriend. But if she's sort of saying, oh, look, it's never going to be anything more than friends, then, yeah, well, then that's different. I probably wouldn't fly over for that if it was me. Unless you really want to be friends with her. I mean, maybe you just like her as a friend. Or you could just like her as a friend. Dome ring lower gold ring. It's got what's the name of this file? Come on, stop this. Stop this. Dome ring, lower gold dome ring. Okay, so it made it easy on myself by making a name that's 100 characters long. Dome ring, lower, gold dome ring, lower. I think this is the one. Yes. Jeez, Philip. Your naming is shocking, Philip. Change it to a PBR. Legmog says, yeah, that was the only vibe I was getting. That was the vibe I was getting. Oh, yeah, well, if she's sort of, I still think she may be just trying to make, I think she's still maybe just trying to make it clear to you that if you come over, it's friendship because she doesn't want to feel pressured into it anymore. But I could be wrong. I don't know this girl. I mean, I don't know what's going through her head. Metal, that's the one. But if she really means I'm only ever going to be your friend and there is no romantic possibility at all, then that's different. And I don't know if I'd fly anywhere to another country for that type of thing, because that's a big commitment just to have a friend. I mean, unless you really like her, like I said, and you want to be just friends with her. I mean, you can just be friends with girls, guys. You don't have to be dating them. You can just have girls as friends. There's nothing wrong with that. And I encourage all you guys to have girls as friends. Broaden your horizons. It'll make you a better person. But again, whether you want to fly all that way for that's a decision you're going to make. But I wouldn't go to another country to meet somebody, even for romantic, for romance. I wouldn't do that personally either. But that's just me. Jaded Old Phil. Spire Base, that's what we want. Spire Base. And this is going to be a PBR, but let's have I been putting the normal in the bump chart? I bet you I have, Just give me a second here. I want to go back through these. I think I've been stuffing up. I don't think I did it for all of them, but I think I might have done it for a couple of them. Okay, that's the normal's in the normal channel. Good. This one is incorrect. The normal is not in the normal channel. Oh, wow. Take it. So you're distracting me. It's your fault, guys. Line and line and and that means we can get rid of the bump here because we don't want it in the bump channel. We want it in the normal channel. Man. Legmog says, so I just send this kind of respectful message saying, hey, thanks for letting me know you want this to be firmly friends, although I was seeing this as to be more of a date. So as we're both on different wavelengths with this, I'm kind of going to cry off this. Legmog says, just wanted to kind of gracefully bow out. Legmog then goes on to say, yes, I think right now I probably have more female friends than dude friends. Like, no offense, but my social life is amply stocked up right now. Fine. Hence, I'm really not too worried about establishing a real life friendship with someone abroad. Fine. I'm not saying you have to, and you've already got girls as friends, and that's cool. Legmog says, come now, Phil, you've had months of no Legmog action. There's much paragraphs of text to catch up on. Oh, man. Edo says, you tell her this. Blind pride can only hold you back. There are fighters out there stronger than both of us. Yeah. Well, like I said, Legmog, I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, if you don't want to travel interstate just for a friendship, then that's fine. I mean, I get that. Particularly if you've got other girls as friends that you can hang out with. Yeah, no, look, I get that. I don't see how she could say that that wasn't fair enough. I mean, it sounds fair enough to me. And again, I popped them in the wrong channel. All of these normal maps in the wrong channel. It's easy enough to copy and paste, so it's not a big deal. I think I must have done everyone in the wrong channel. Just as well, I sort of realized. I don't know why I realized, but I did realize. Because it wouldn't have looked right. This one as well. Give me strength. Give me strength. I told you I can't multitask, that's the problem. I can't read my chat and do this at the same time. And this one. And this one. Basically all of them. I think I basically got put them in the wrong channel on all of them by the look of it. Let's call it what it is. You stuffed all of them up, Phil. Okay, and I think we're back to where we were before now. Legmog says, so like, good lord, she blew right up. Okay, she blew right up at me. Ito said, this is from my master, Ryu-san. Legmog says, oh my god, so you only want to use me for sex? This whole thing was a big joke to you, wasn't it? All the affection you showed me was just a big lie. Legmog says, like, if you ever thought the paragraphs of text I sent her are big, you should have seen the amount of messages coming my way. I could see that coming, Legmog. To be honest, I could see where this was going. She obviously thinks that you only were interested in sex, and I think her saying friends only was her way to test you. If you want my honest opinion, I have a feeling that's what she was doing. She was saying it to test you, to see what your reaction would be, to see whether you would have been open to that. I mean, she might have already all along had the intention of wanting you as a boyfriend, but she was being careful. And you sort of saying to her, well, I don't just want to be friends, so let's move on, has upset her. Because I think maybe she did like you. Hard to say, being a third person here, but yeah, that's the impression I'm getting. Legmug says, yeah. So I mean, yeah. Drama, so much drama from people. Drama. Spiral base. What's this called? Stop doing that. Come on. Spiral base. That's what I want. So now I'm going to go to the normal channel here to get the normal map in the right spot. Spiral base, that's the one we want there. I'm just checking to see if I have, if this is a PBR or not. It doesn't look like it is. So that should be all good. Let's keep moving along. And this one is Temple of the Winds. This is the main texture. Now this one does have a normal map, so let's pull that in. I have two here. I'm trying to work out why I have two. I think this is the one I want. This is normal 4K, normal. think this is the one I want here. This is the interior of the dome, which we never actually got to see while I was modelling it up. I never actually took the camera under there, but there is like this pattern through the dome underneath of it. Legmark says, like good Lord, I've spoken intimately with this girl since February. Long in-depth conversations going hours into the night. If all I wanted was a one-night stand, then I must be the most calculating, long game playing person ever to walk the earth. Well, that is true, but there are guys that will do that. So just because you didn't and didn't have that intention, there are guys around that do behave like that. So she's just being careful. Edo says, tell her this is the path of destiny. Look, I think you've already burnt the bridge anyway, Legmog, so probably best you just move on with your life and she can move on with hers. Can't cry over spilt milk, all that sort of stuff. My impression though was she was giving you a bit of a test. But it's easier to talk to people online, even though you've devoted hours talking online to her intimately. There are guys that will do that with expectations, and there are guys that will do that with no expectations. And she was just trying to test out which one you were. That's the impression I'm getting. I could be wrong. I don't know. Don't know this girl. I don't know. But yeah. Maybe start with trying to find women in your own country because it's less of a hassle for you to have to go and see them. You know what I mean? It's just easier that way. You can date people that live locally and it'll be much easier on you and them. Sniper Girl, it's good to see you, Sniper Girl. We've just been discussing Legbog's not sex life, romantic life on stream with the girl do you remember Sniper Girl? Months ago when Legmog was on the stream, he mentioned this girl in Belgium he was corresponding with. We've just been discussing that. And Cookie, it's good to see you too, Cookie. So what is this one called? We're setting up the shaders now for our Temple of the Winds in Eon View, and this one's called Dome Ring Lower. What's it called? Dome Ring Lower Color. We want to set up the normal map in the right channel this time. Dome Ring Lower Color. Dome Ring Lower Color. Dome Ring Upper. Dome Ring Lower. Dome Ring Lower. It's gold painted. Dome Ring Lower gold painted. Dome Ring Lower gold. I should not call these things Dome Ring. All the same thing. Dome Ring Lower normal. I'm just going to double check this. Dome Ring Lower Color. That's the one. Okay. Dome Ring Upper. I actually don't see it here. That's why I'm getting confused. Actually, that's Dome Ring Upper. It looks like the Dome Ring Upper one, but it's not. Why is that? I may not have transferred all of the textures to that folder. That could be the problem. Dome Ring Lower Color. I'm just going to jump into the folder and double check it. Dome Ring Lower Color. Yeah, that's it there. It does not look like I copied over the normal map, so I'm just going to find where that is, which should be in my temp directory. Dome ring lower. Yeah, it's this one here. I didn't copy them over, so that's why. It wasn't my fault. They weren't there to begin with. I'm just going to copy them over now. It says replace, so they must be there. Oh, they're over here. It didn't put them right. Why didn't it put them right beside it? Don't ring lower color. Okay, because the color is missing from these ones. So I did copy them over. I just didn't notice them. They're there. Don't ring lower. All right. Let's do this again. So it is. It's this one here. Dome ring lower. Oh man. It's a PBR material, I think. Let's have a look. Dome ring lower metallic. That's the one we want. And the roughness. Should be this one here, yes. Okay. Now we're all set. And it looks like I put the wrong color map in here. Let me just fix that back up again. Dear. Tone ring lower color. That's the one we want for the color map. The normal map, metallic map, roughness map. We're all good. Let me catch up with the chat. Sniper says to Edo, dang, you're fast with your characters. Yeah, I thought that too when I saw that he posted since yesterday the character, because he started with the horn and now he's got the whole character. He's incredibly fast. And it is looking good, I agree, Sniper Girl. Yeah, now, if anyone wants to see Edo's character, I'll probably show it at the end of the stream like I do with everyone else's work. But you can jump on the Discord, you don't have to wait for me. Jump on the Phil Does 3D Discord or join if you haven't already. And check it out. You can show your work there too if you want to show off your work and you're not a sub. Legmog says, but then again the girl did have a penchant for taking a very negative glass half empty attitude to lots of things. Now I think of it, it's quite a passive aggressive way. Don't you love those passive aggressive people? Edo says that. Thanks, Sniper Girl. Edo says, I'm trying to become... Well, you're pretty fast, Edo. I don't know how you can get faster. Edo says, my master Ryu teaches me the path to victory. The path of becoming a true material artist and never ends. Well, that's true. The path to doing anything never ends. Sniper Girl says, true. Sniper Girl says, regardless if it's martial arts or life, that's exactly true. But it is looking cool, Edo. I love all you must have your portfolio stuffed with work by now because you've done so many characters. Which is good. Just remember what I said to you guys though, if you're putting your portfolios together so you can get a job, don't give them too much work to look at. Pick 10 to 12 at most of your best work to show them. Do not send them 50 images of 50 different things. It's just too much for people to look at. They're not going to look at it all. You're actually going to disadvantage yourself by doing that. So while it's good to make a lot of work, only put your best work in your portfolio. The best of the best. So you can keep it to no more than 10 to 12 images. Edo says, I don't have it filled. I only show the best. Good. Legmog says, like, the degree she took the worst possible interpretation of things, and threw such insults my way, I didn't even respond and just blocked her on WhatsApp at least. Then the abuse kept coming on Facebook. Oh, she sounds like a bit of a stalker, dude. You don't want a stalker. You don't want people to be stalking you. This is why I hate social media. It's too easy for people to stalk you. Oh, it sounds like you might have dodged a bullet as well. She sounds like, I don't know, she either really liked you and she's really upset, or she's a bit nuts. I don't know which. Yeah, stalking's never good. Being harassed is never good. Never good at all. Again, my apologies. For being a little distracted here, I will be back in 2 seconds to look at the camera. I'm just, again, looking at these emails they're sending through. Edo says I have like 4 things. Well, 4 things is fine. You can maybe put a few more in if you've got a few more you want to show off, Edo. But always, don't go overboard with putting the amount of images in your portfolio. Don't put too many in. Edo says I'm taking down Venom and Carrie. It's always good to swap out your stuff in your portfolio too, because if you're always creating stuff like Edo is, and we all generally are always creating new stuff, you're going to create stuff later that's better than the stuff you created earlier. You know what I mean? Because you've had more practice of doing it. So it's always a good idea to review your portfolio at least once a year and swap out some stuff for new stuff if it's better. Sniper Girl says to Legmug, wow, sorry to hear that. Sounds like a wonderful person. Legmug says after she kept messaging on Facebook, I thought I would send her one final message. I said, hey, girl's name. There's just so much wrong here. I don't see that there's any way I can attempt to untangle this mess without causing further distress, so I'm walking away. That sounds fair enough to me. It's probably better for both of you if you don't prolong it. What's the point? Sniper Girl says, I have too many things in my portfolio, really need to remove things, add the environment for the art test and the gun, assuming I can get permission to as well. They should let you add it to your portfolio, Sniper Girl. I mean, do ask them, just make sure, but I can't see why they wouldn't let you put it in your portfolio. I mean, it is your work after all. Main terrace top render. So yeah, they should let you put it in your portfolio, but ask them because it's the polite thing to do. Main terrace tops. Top paint. Is it that one? Yeah, I think it's this one. Main terrace tops render. Yeah, it's this one here. Color, double check, that looks correct to me. I think this is a PBR material. No, actually this one is not a PBR material. Oh, okay, because it's, I know, yep, nope. We're going to set it back to a simple material because it's not PBR, this one. Move on to the next one. This one will be PBR. Sniper Girl says, Legmog says, she responds, how can you be hurt when you have no feelings or care? You just cancel and throw me out like a piece of garbage. Legmog says, I then blocked her on Facebook. Wow. And Sniper Girl says, wow. I couldn't put it any better. Oh, wow. Sniper Girl says, was told no for the environment. Oh, okay. Didn't get the job, so yeah, all bets are off. No ending. Well, look, if you were told no for the environment, it's your work. You did the art test. You didn't sign an NDA. And if they didn't offer you the job, well then put it in your portfolio. They've got no rights to tell you no. None at all. Yeah, no. It wasn't like you were even working to a design that they provided you, was it? It was a design that you sort of chose yourself. So they have no right to your work. They can't tell you not to put it in your portfolio. They can't tell you to do it, not to do anything with it. You have the rights to it. You do what you want. And they've got a cheek to try and say you can't. I mean, that's just cheeky in my opinion. Cheeky. Inner support space. This one will be PBR material. Inner support base. It will be This one, I believe. And we want the metal map.
New eyes, new vision for the world. An unparalleled blending of science and art.
And the roughest map.
It's difficult for a person to control a complicated sound synthesizer quickly enough. A computer can take over much of this control work and do it more quickly and accurately than a human.
Okay.
And all this has been just the beginning.
Smurfberry says, I just wouldn't mention that it was an art test. No, I probably wouldn't either. I wouldn't mention it was an art test. I would just say this is my environment. Describe what it is. So you are correct, Smurfberry. I'd do the same. Legmog says, like before the abusive messages started flooding in, I was really chill with the whole thing. I thought we'd agree to date, but she's just wanted friends. That's fine. Not angry or bummed out whatsoever. I'm just not going to Belgium for that. Okay. Totaku, it's good to see you, Totaku. Says, question, does UE4 support multiple UDIMs? That's a good question, because it was something that was brought up recently with the new version of UE4, 4.23. And I'm trying to remember whether it is or not yet. I don't know if it supports UDIMs yet. I do remember reading something about UDIM support though. So I don't know if it's a feature that's in beta that they're working on. I don't think it's available in the engine yet, but I could be wrong, because I do know that they are planning to support UDIMs, because they support texture streaming now from disk. So you've always had MIP mapping and all that sort of stuff supported, streaming textures that way. But now they've actually got texture streaming. It's a new feature that's in UE 4.23. It's still classed as a beta feature, I believe. But it's in the project settings. You can enable texture streaming, and I think as part of that texture streaming update, they're going to be supporting UDIMs. But I'm just not sure if they actually support them yet. I don't think they do. It will be cool to tackle when they do though. UDIMs are cool. Love using UDIMs, and of course, Substance Painter is going to start supporting UDIMs soon-ish. They are going to do it. I don't think they've done it yet. Sniper Girl says to Smurfberry, that's what I'm going to do. Say that I did it for an art test. Say I did it, but that's what I am going to do. Say I did it for an art test. Won't name the studio. List the deadline, specific rules giving. Oh, I guess that's fine. Look, it's your work. It doesn't matter whether you say it was an art test or you don't say it was an art test. You do what you want. You made it. You designed it. It's yours. They have no rights to say anything, particularly if you sign nothing. If you sign no NDAs or anything like that, they have no legal right to say that you can't do anything with it. Yeah, as Sniper Girl says to Taku, I know it's coming because I have seen them. I've seen it mentioned on the UE forums, UE4 forums, but I don't think it's in yet. But I do know this new texture streaming tech is new. I haven't actually turned it on for the game that we're working on at the studio, but I might look at that at some stage. I've been playing around with real-time ray tracing recently in the game engine for the game that the studio's making, so I haven't looked at UDIMs or anything. Smurfberry says, I wouldn't say even it was an art test, just this is an environment that I did X time, Y data, polycount texture size. I don't think she'll have a problem saying it's an art test. They have no legal right to any of her work. So I don't think it'll really matter. But if you want to be safe, then take Smurf's advice and don't mention it as an art test. Legmog says, so yes, sorry for that massive stream of consciousness. You'll be glad to know the story is now over. Well, look, it obviously wasn't meant to be between you two, Legmog. I think she got really hurt. I think that's the reason she became a bit nasty and stalkish. I think you hurt her. I think she liked you, but it's all done and dusted and over with, and you can both move on with your lives, like you said. But dude, the amount of problems you have with women, I swear to God. Sniper Girl says, I want to include it it was for an art test, mostly due to it shows that I can work to tight deadlines, follow strict instructions, won't mention the studio. Smurfberry makes a good point though, Sniper Girl. You can still say you had to create it to a deadline, these were the restrictions. You don't have to mention it was for an art test. If you want to, then that's fine. If you don't want to, then you don't have to. You could still say it was for a project that had strict standards, strict deadlines that I had to complete it by, all that sort of stuff. In fact, I think it might even sound better if you say it wasn't for an art test. If you say it was just it was a project that I had a project deadline, you could give people then the impression that it was a paid project, which always sounds better on your portfolio if you're getting paid for stuff that you're doing. So it might even be better in that regard. You still list all your deadline stuff. You don't mention it was an art test though. You say it was a project that you had to create, using all of the deadline stuff that you're going to use for your art test, but just don't mention it was an art test. Because it might make it sound like you actually got paid work to do the model, and that reflects better on you. But it's up to you. Smurfberry says to Legmog, and you kept all your organs. That's exactly right. You didn't get organ harvested. Sniper Girl says, I didn't get the job and no NDA, so all bets are off. Yeah, but you're probably a bit pissed off you didn't get the job, and I get that. And you might be thinking, well, this is a good way for me to stick it to them, and I get that too. I'm just saying it might be better in your best self-interest not to mention it as an art test and just to mention it as if it was a paid job. But like I said, it's completely up to you. They can't come at you for anything. Tutaku says, yes, Substance Painter supports multiple UDIMs, but things like Marmoset and some other programs don't support it, which is a bit underwhelming. Yeah, I don't use Marmoset. I didn't know it didn't support UDIM Marmoset though. I use Mari to do my texture painting as well, and it does support UDIMs. Has full support for UDIMs. And I do know that with the texture streaming, I'm pretty sure the team at Epic Games that are working on texture streaming, the new texture streaming from disk on UE4, I'm pretty sure I saw them mention that UDIMs are coming. So it might have even been in one of Epic Games. You know how Epic Games put those videos out on their Unreal Engine channel on YouTube where they talk to the devs? They have like an hour every week or every month or however often it is where they talk to different devs in the Epic Games, and they were speaking to the guy that worked on the texture streaming, and I'm pretty sure he mentioned UDIMs in that, but I don't think it's in yet. But it will be cool when they do get them in. It will be super cool. Super cool. Because we all love UDIMs. Legmog says to Sniper Girl, just say it was a project specifically requested of you by Steven Spielberg. Don't lie like that. I'm not suggesting you lie outright like that. That is not what I'm saying. Don't lie. Do not say that you did work for companies that you didn't. You're going to get found out. You will. Or everyone knows everyone else in the industry. Trust me, guys. You can't claim other people's work as your own because you will get found out. The industry is not that big. You might think it is, but it's not. It's a big industry, but everyone knows everyone else at different studios because half the time people have worked with other people that, the industry is one where everyone moves around a lot. So everyone gets to know everyone else. And I know Legmog is joking though. Hambone, it's good to see you, Hambone. How are you? Hambone says, I wish I had problems with women. Too scary looking. I'm sure you're not scary looking, Hambone. I'm sure you are not. It's good to see you though, Hambone. Smurfery says, yo, Ham. Sniper Girl says that works too. Hambone says, hi, Smurf. Sniper Girl says, not even, just came out extremely well. No, that's fine. Would be foolish not to add it as a portfolio piece, especially with how strict the guidelines were. We'll mention that it was a project though. Good idea there. Yeah, I think it sounds better if you just say it was a project, because then people can interpret that any way they want. And some people it would not be unreasonable for people to assume that it was a paid project. I mean, you can do freelance projects that you don't get paid for as well, but it just sounds better to me. Instead of saying it was an art test, saying it was a project on a tight deadline. I just think that sounds more professional and better for you. Smurfberry says a project with a short deadline. Yes. Sniper Girl says, yeah, 10 days. Legmog says, the Hambone, well, there's a lovely girl in Belgium. Don't you do that, Legmog. Don't you put Hambone in touch with someone that you've been having issues with. That's terrible. Don't listen to him, Hambone. Run, Hambone, run. Hambone says to Legmog, is she breathing? Oh, dear. Wow. Megamug says breathing. Well, I think rage-fueled huffing and puffing is the present state of her respiration. And Hambone says hot. Oh, you guys, wow. No wonder women run half a mile with some men, I tell you. Wow. Sniper Echo says UE423 now supports UDIMs. If I remember right, you could be right as well, Sniper Echo. I do remember it being mentioned in this live stream that I watched. And I think it might have, I either thought it was coming with 423 with the support for streaming from disk, texture streaming from disk, or it was released as part of that. I do know it was mentioned. And having UDIMs in a game engine is really cool. I mean, generally they don't. It's only, I think, now that ray tracing is becoming a thing, that things like UDIMs are becoming a thing. Because the two go hand in hand. Film with ray tracing, you've used UDIMs since year dot. UDIMs are used extensively in film work. You know, and when it's talking a couple, 3 or 4 pokey UDIMs here, we're talking like 200 UDIMs per model. So UDIMs are really important in film, and film has always used ray tracing. So I think now that real-time ray tracing is becoming a thing, that's why UDIM support is going to become a thing in game engines now, which is good because UDIMs are cool. Sniper Girl says, Legmog putting the Hambone with the Antichrist. How nice of you. Come on, let's not say this about this girl. We don't know her. I'm not going to say that she's in the wrong or Legmog's in the wrong or both are in the wrong or both are in the right. We don't know the situation really, and we don't want to say anything bad about this girl because we don't know her. So, they've both moved on and they're both much happier. That's a good solution in the end to me. Sniper Echo says, I hope I wasn't dreaming about that. No, I remember them mentioning UDIM support in UE4 as well, Sniper Echo, so they did mention it. Dome ring upper. Let me keep going here. Dome ring upper. So no, it wasn't just you. I did recall them mentioning it as well. The normal map. And this is a PBR material, so let's pull in the metal map. Dome ring up metal and the roughness map. Should be this one, I believe. Yes. I'm just keeping an eye on OBS over here. OBS has been great. I haven't had a problem with it. I haven't updated to the new version though yet. Because some people have been saying 4.2, what is it? 23 to 20, OBS 24 has been giving them problems. So I'm still on 23.2.1. And it's been fine. Smurfberry says it has some sort of UDIM support. I just don't know to what extent. It's that streaming thing, Phil. Yeah, it's streaming from disk. Texture streaming from disk. It's a new form of streaming that they've added to the Unreal Engine, where you can use really large textures because they're not actually pulled into memory all at once. It pulls in part of the texture and maps it to whatever it is you're looking at in screen space in front of you. Or if it's like a 16K, let's say, texture for a landscape, it pulls, it loads up part of the texture, converts it to tiles. I believe this is the way it works, and then just tiles the area that's directly in the full stream of the player. So you're not loading the entire 16K texture in. It's as you move across the landscape, it's loading in new bits of the texture and tiling it in front of you, all in real time, of course. I think that's the way it works. So it's basically a way for you to use really large texture maps in Unreal without running out of memory, because you're not loading the texture map up, it's streaming it in from the disk live, which is cool. And it's something I haven't looked at, but it is something I want to check out. Like I said, I'm still concentrating more at the moment on the real-time ray tracing stuff, because I want to, the game that the studio and I are working on, I want to include real-time ray tracing as a feature. Not a requirement, but if people want to turn it on, they can turn it on. So I want to play around. I've been playing around with real-time ray tracing in the Unreal Engine in UE 4.23. It's a new one, yeah. And we're going to be jumping into that game after we finish this project, like I said. Inner ring base color. So we can all check out real-time ray tracing ourselves on stream here live on Twitch when we jump back into the game. Oh, now I can't. Why can't I do? My mind goes a blank, when I'm trying to talk and work at the same time. Inner ring base color. Okay. Can you believe it? I've forgotten the name. Phil needs a Phil slap. Yeah, it's called Inner Ring Base Color. Okay. Third time's the charm. Inner Ring Base Color. Inner Ring Base Color. That's that one there. So it'll be this one. Inner Ring Normal. Yes. Yes, it will be. It'll be this one. Okay, and I believe... thank you for that slap. Thank you for this slap, Sniper Girl. Yes, Phil does deserve a slap. It is a PBR material, I believe, so let's turn that on. And bring in the metalness map. Inner ring... It'll be this one here, and the roughness map will be this one here. Yeah, I know. Sniper Girl says it was intended as a joke. Legmog says, well, if you ever saw her messages, there would be no doubt. It is me who is completely painted as the Antichrist. Sniper Girl says, I got a slap from Sniper, as you wish. As you wish. Is that a reference to... Is it Princess Bride? Great movie. Sniper Echo laughs. Sniper Girl says, you asked for it, I did ask for it, you are correct. You only gave me what I asked for. And this one is called Spire Base. Let me see if I can remember it within the 5 seconds I have to load it up. Spire Base, Spire Base, Spire Base, Spire Base. Spire Base, yeah, I'm ignoring the chat while I'm trying to do this. Spire Base, Spire Base. Spire Base. Hang on. We've got an LG and an SM one. Which one is it? I didn't read that far ahead. Oh no. Can you believe that? Spire Base SM. I want the SM version. This is while I'm not being paid to work on this, isn't it? This is a PBR material. Firebase SM. Where is it? Firebase SM. We want the... Actually, I don't think this is a PBR material. We've got the color and the normal. No, these aren't PBRs, so we don't need a PBR here. I'm going to go back to a simple material. So we've just got that one in the normal. Let's move on. Yes, I did need a slap. You're right, Sniper Girl. That's all cool. Sniper Wrecker says, Phil, with your photogrammetry work, have you ever scanned many large, shiny, glossy objects or buildings on buildings? Photogrammetry has a real problem with metallic, with metal and with glass. Anything really shiny, you're going to have an issue with photogrammetry. The best way to do shiny metal or glass is to use LiDAR or laser scanning. That's the best way. Because yeah, photogrammetry, it has a problem. There are ways around it, like if it's a small enough object, but you can do things like you photograph your object using photogrammetry, but then you dust it with like talcum powder or something, and you do take some more photos. So you use the talcum powder version to get the model, and then you use the normal version to actually texture the model up. But generally, yeah, any metallic like car paint can be a problem, and glass can be a problem. Those sort of objects, I'm not saying it's impossible. You can still capture them, but yeah, you're going to have issues using photogrammetry. So that's, yeah, generally LiDAR or laser scanning is used for that sort of stuff. Legmog says, I think you've done a great job of making this model, Phil. It will be perfect background fixture for your latest bird flying animation show. Shut up! Now he's making fun of my animation skills because he knows how good a job I did of that eagle for the cinematic. We aren't all superstar animators like you, Legmog. And I've never pretended to be a superstar animator. I mean, it was functional. It wasn't terrible. It worked. I'm not saying it was amazing, but you know. And that bird is not going to be in the game either, by the way. That eagle will not be in the game. In fact, there will be no birds in the game. There'll be bird noises, but you won't see any birds in the game. This model here is going to go into the game as well, though. So you see me working on it here in Eon View. I'm going to be creating a 3D environment for it. That's so I can do beauty renders, so I can sell the model on my 3D store at the Creative Market, on the Creative Market website. But it's also going to be put in the game that we're making called The House in the Hollow. So it will be a location in that game as well. Somewhere out in the forest for the player to discover. Sniper Girl says the Sniper Echo doesn't work too well with glossy objects. Best to use something to dull up the object before scanning. I've heard people using hairspray, baby powder. Yep. To be able to dull up the object enough to scan. Yeah, baby powder, like I said, it's used. Yep, that's a good way to actually do it too. If the object's small enough that you can powder it. If it's a huge building like glass windows, you're not going to be able to powder them. Sniper says, incoming Legmog, get that hard hat on. Oh, wow. Mercury says also chalk spray, yep. Sniper Echo says you can't really do that with buildings. No, you can't. Mercury says, how much glass are we talking about? Sniper Echo says baby powder a building with drones would be awesome, though. It would be awesome. Drop baby powder bombs. Mercury says, are there any guided photogrammetry software packages available to the public where you can add a low poly guide mesh to help the software where an object... Yes, look, reality capture, you can do that. Context capture, you can do that. And I think, I'm pretty sure, can't you do that in Metashape as well? By Agisoft? I know reality capture you can. You can import a low-res model just to act as a substitute for the photogrammetry phase, if you want. So that could be an option too. Yeah, you could do that maybe. you have to model it low poly by hand and import it into the photogrammetry software to get the reprojection done on. That could be an option. Sniper Echo says, whoa, no bird in the game. Refunding my pre-order. That's right. There'll be a bathroom, there'll be a toilet, and there'll be a bedroom, and there'll be a kitchen. There'll be a kitchen as well. So you're getting a bathroom, toilet, and kitchen. So don't cancel the pre-order. Legmog says, will the Eagle not be in the game because you play at the Eagle and it's a first-person shooter, so it's just the camera? That sounds great. Eagle Simulator 2019 by Phil Does 3D. I'll keep an eye out for that. Yeah, no. No. And no, you do not play as the Eagle. Smurpery says, I've worked with some proprietary software that had that feature. We used it to reconstruct glass skyscrapers that the algorithm couldn't make heads nor tails of. Put a stretched cube where it's supposed to be, and the software built it correctly. You can do that too with, like I said, reality capture. You can import a base mesh that it can use then to do a reprojection onto for to help its photogrammetry. So that's an option. I know. I'm sure in reality capture you can. I don't tend to do that because I don't tend to need to photograph stuff that's metallic or reflective for my work, usually. Because I deal with it with the photogrammetry for the studio. I'm either dealing with mining companies, so we're photographing slag heaps and rock heaps and all that sort of stuff, or I work with period facades, which generally stone or brick. So and that handles photogrammetry perfectly fine. So I don't do a lot of that sort of stuff. Sniper says the Smurf very interesting. We'll check it out. Legmog says a bathroom, toilet, and kitchen is nothing without the air. Come on. You guys, you gave me so much grief about the bathroom and toilet and the kitchen, and now you want the Eagle. Well, the Eagle is not going to be in the game. I'm sorry. It's just not going to be happening. The Eagle is dead. I'm afraid, main column 1. The Eagle is dead. Never to be seen again. It flew into the hollow and was zapped dead. So you won't find the Eagle in the game, I'm afraid. Right after that cinematic was filmed, the Eagle died. Main column 1 normal map. I'm pretty sure it was number 1. I will check. Yes, column 1. These are PBR material, so let's pull the metal map in. Main column 1. We want the metallic map. And we want the roughness map. Which I believe is this one here. Sniper says this is beginning to sound like Star Citizen now. Legmog says I personally refuse to enter any building that doesn't have an eagle flying about outside. Sniper Echo says to Smurpery, thanks for the tip. Cookie says dead. Yes, it's dead. It's dead. Can never be revived. I'm sorry, it can't be brought back into the game because it's dead. Simple as that. Sniper Girl says you killed the eagle. How could you? Yes, it's dead. It's dead. Legmog says it probably died because it really needed a wee, but there was nowhere to go, so it exploded. That's right, Legmog. I'm afraid the eagle desperately needed to pee and couldn't, so it exploded, and it's dead. Never to be seen or come back again. That eagle is gone. In fact, I should just put a little gravestone somewhere inside the forest there that says the eagle is dead. Just for you guys. It might be a little Easter egg I'll hide somewhere in there. Just for my streamers. Something they can find if they want to buy and play the game. Android Lust, it's good to see you, Android Lust. Hope you're well. How's things? What you doing? Doing 3D, I hope. But it's good to see you, Android Lust. Cookie says, Sniper Girl says hi. Koteku says, oh, I forgot to say Marmoset tool bag is great for baking maps from high to low poly. Because you're able to have a pre-made cage based off your low poly that you can skew and modify to get just the right bake. It's also good for rendering or allowing a 3D rotation view but users can move it well. Great for portfolio. Yeah. Look, a couple of people have used Marmoset and really like it. I think Smepery likes it as well. Smepery Barbecue. I'm not saying, yeah, it is good software. I don't use it, but it is good software. And there you go. It's good for baking because Tataku says that you can actually modify the cage, the pre-made cage, that you do your baking from high to low on. You can do that in Max too, actually. If you want to use Max to do your normal map baking, you can actually modify the cage as well in Max. Yeah. I know that Nald, Knald, that's a good software for baking. I've had good results using Nald. I haven't used the new version in Substance Painter yet, now that they've sped it all up. I haven't done a bake out using Substance Painter, but it's supposed to be very good too. And there is another piece of software that I sometimes use called I don't have it on the shortcut. Mighty Bake. It's called Mighty Bake. All it does is bake outs, and it does a really good job too. Sniper Echo says no Birds DLC then. No, there won't be any Birds DLC. Android Lust says, yep, doing 3D. Good to hear. Internet started working again so I can watch the stream. Oh, well, that's good to hear. So we got we've got all those done. Yes, good. Let's move on to the next one. I got the normal in the right chest. Good. And this one is column 2, I believe. Yes, column 2. So let's bring in the normal map. Main column 2. And it's a PBR material, so let's switch PBR on. Bring in the metal map. Which will be this one, I believe. Main column 2 metallic. And the roughness map. Which I think is this one here. Yes. Good. Sniper Girl says to Taku I only use Marmoset. Your Sniper Girl uses Marmoset, I forgot that, yep. So she uses Marmoset to Taku as well, she really likes it. Sniper Girl says can also do 64 times anti-aliasing as well, which is cool. Legmog says Seafill, Sniper Girl has to resort to Marmoset for baking because there's certainly no kitchen around these parts. Oh wow. Legmog. I think this one is Pond Rails, so let's bring in the normal map for that one. Pond Rails. Pond Rails normal. I think this one is a PBR material, so let's bring in the metallic map. Which is this one. And the roughness map. Which is this one here. Okay, next texture. And this one is the circular steps base color. Circular steps. Will be this one here. This is a PBR, so we will bring in the metal and the rough. This one is the metal. This one is the rough. And next texture. And this is large terrace based sides. Large terrace base. Is it this one? Large terrace base. No, it's this one here. Large terrace base sides. I'm just wondering why. Again, I don't seem to see the normal map for this one. And I'm wondering why. This could be one that I forgot to move over. Let's double check. Smurfery says 64 ties sampling. Yeah! Legmark says nice. Kreitz TV. It's good to see you, Kreitz. Kreitz, sorry. Smurfery says hello. Let's ban the invader. It's good to see you, Kritz or Kreitz. I'm sorry how I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Kreitz says nope, only double stream on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Smurfery says Phil, you got raided. Oh, did I? My apologies for not seeing the raid. Thank you for the raid. I see you guys see, I told you I can't multitask and I get so caught up on what I'm doing I forget to pay more attention to what's going on in my chat. So thank you for the raid, if I got raided. And welcome to Phil Does 3D, anyone that followed in with the raid. Again, I'm a multimedia and 3D artist, and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 PM Pacific in the United States. So you'll see me working on everything from 3D Studio Max to working with Eon View, which is what we're doing here, to working on the Unreal Engine, which is what we're going to be doing soon. This project's almost finished. I'm just doing some beauty renders for this model before I put it online for sale, and then we're going to jump into UE4 to work on the game that the studio I'm with is working on. But thank you, Kreitz TV as well. And it's good to see you. You got it first time. Kreitz? Kritz. I think it was Kritz, wasn't it? Oh, wow. Sniper Girl says to Phil, it's a good friend of yours, Sniper Girl. Okay. Cookie says he really liked to use ZBrush too. Well, I do use ZBrush, but Cookie's being cheeky because I know she knows how much I hate it. I hate the interface. I love the software, but I hate the interface. Sniper Girl says, yeah, especially loves the interface of ZBrush. Kritz says, I'm the same when streaming. Mine is all over the place. Yeah, I'm sorry. I do try, but I'm really bad at multitasking, so I'm really sorry for missing anyone that might jump into my chat and I don't immediately respond. I will respond because I do read my chat. It's just hard for me to do two things at once. But yes, no, Kritz. I'm assuming it's Kritz and not Kreitz. Kritz. I'm going to say Kritz, and if that's incorrect, then you let me know, Kritz. No, Phil ignores us anyway. I do not ignore you guys. I always pay attention. Okay, so I just want to try and work out why I don't have the normal map for this. So this is the large terrace base sides. I'm going to jump back into where I saved out all of those textures. Large terrace base. To try and work out what is going on. I'm pretty sure it's in this folder here that I need to look. I'm just going to double check what the actual texture is. Large terrace base side, so it's that one there. Let's compare that to this folder here. Okay, so it's this one here. which means it's these textures here. So I'm going to... we don't need the color, we don't need the height, we do need the metal. I'm just going to rename it before I copy it over. I'm going to call it large terrace base underscore sides. And that way I won't get confused when I copy it over. And we also need the roughness, and we need the normal as well. And the roughness. Okay. Let's copy these three over into our master folder. And now we can pull up the correct normal map. Large terrace base, sides, and this is a PBR material. Large terrace base, sides metallic, and roughness. Which should be this one here. Yep. Good. Sniper Girl says no. Sniper Girl says saying it wrong. The other way you pronounce crits. Incorrect. Krites. Krites. We'll say Krites. DCM Video, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it, guys, when you follow my Twitch channel. So thank you, DCM Video. Krites. Krites, yes. I think it's Krites, isn't it? Not crits, it's Krites. Let's move on to the next texture. Nailed it. Krites. There we go. Krites TV. You just ask the guys. They all know how I mangle their usernames all the time. Even an easy username. It's my head, my brain just doesn't work. Krites TV. There we go. I'll try and remember. Krites. 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 Large terrace base. We want the normal map for this one. Large terrace base. Large terrace base. Should be this one here. And this is a PBR material, so we want to set it to PBR and bring in the metal map. Large terrace base. Metal should be this one here. And the roughness. Should be this one here. And this one is called Terrace Step R2. Man, I really should have named these better. Terrace Step R2. Terrace Step R2 will be this one here. Again, this is a PBR, so we'll bring in the metal. And the roughness. Andrew Lost says all of those textures in one folder. I feel lost. Yeah, it is. You saw when I made the textures in Substance Painter, I put them all into individual folders, which is a nice way to organize stuff. I put them all into one folder. Well, actually, I didn't initially do that. What I did was I got 3D Studio Max to do that automatically for me. Max has got a feature where it can collect resources and put everything into one folder, which I always do before I actually make the model, before I upload the model for sale, because otherwise the paths with all the textures are going to be off. So basically when someone buys the model, downloads it, unzips it, tries to open up the model, if I didn't collect all the resources into one folder and get Max to automatically redirect the textures to the right folder, when they try to open up the model, they're going to get a warning message from Max saying, can't find this texture, and that's not professional or good. So I use the resource collector in Max to gather up all of the textures into one folder, and it resaves the Max file with the correct texture path. That's why they're all in one folder. It's not great for organization, but good for me when I have to upload it for sale. DCM Video says, motion graphics artist looking to get into modeling. Cool. Well, you come to the right place. Phil does 3D. That's all I do was 3D modeling. So you should join the Phil Does 3D Discord server as well, DCM Video. I'll pop the link here in chat for you. Only if you want to. It's a great place to hang out. If you do any work, you can show off in the gallery. You show your work off in the gallery, or you can also ask any questions or anything if you've got any problems while you're doing 3D in the Discord server. Yeah, don't post links in my Twitch chat unless you're a sub to my channel, but everyone can post links in Discord. And it's good. Welcome to Phil Does 3D DCM Video. Kreitz TV. Okay, I've got it. I'll try and remember Kreitz. Sniper Girl says, well, considering how many snipers you have, it's understandable. I know I've got so many snipers. Android Lust says, DCMV, you've come to the right place. You have. Sniper Girl says, think we should all choose the same color name to really... Don't do that. Really confuse Phil. It doesn't take much to confuse Phil, and that would really confuse Phil. You know it takes very little to confuse me. Central Rails. Phil is easily confused. Central Rails, that's the one we want there. And again, this is a PBR. So we want Central Rails Metal and Roughness. And let's move on to the next texture. And this one is Rails End. This is the one thing. PBR materials are great. PBR stands for physically based rendering, and they're great. But man, does it increase the amount of work you've got to do to actually get everything set up. Because, you know, not only do you have your color and your normal like you used to, now you've got your metal and your rough as well you've got to find and hook up. Just saying. Rails End, the normal map, that's the one we want. Again, it's a PBR material. We want to load up the metal map. Which will be this one, and the roughness. Which will be this one. And this one is another huge long small circle terrace, small circle terrace. Small circle terrace, it's this one here, so that's the one we want. Again, it's a PBR. So we need the metal. And I believe this is the roughness. Yes. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Again, small circle terrace. Okay. Oh, okay. What we can do here is oh, hang on. Did I make a boo-boo? Just gonna double check this. Make sure I didn't make a boo-boo. I think I did make a boo-boo. These are the sides, not the top. Small, okay, it's called small circle terrace, but small circle terrace sides. Okay. Small circle terrace sides, that's the one we want there. Which means we need to swap out these two maps as well. Small circle terrace, sides metallic, and roughness. That would look quite odd when we came to do a render, having those wrong maps. That's the one we want there. Okay, now we can move to the next one. And this is small circle terrace. This is a normal. This is why I got confused when I noticed it was the same texture, and I'm thinking, why is it the same texture? Should not be doing that. Now we want this one. Small circle terrace. This one here, metallic. And this one here, which will be the roughness. Okay. And what do we got here? Stairs border 2 painted. Stairs border 2 painted, that's the one we want there. I just can't remember if that was a PBR or not. Stairs border 2 painted. No, this one is not a PBR. So we can move on to the next one. RYRYB, it's good to see you. My apologies for taking so long to acknowledge you. How are you, RYRYB? It just took a while for my notification to come through from Twitch there. No, she's not the only streamer that she gives. You're not the only streamer she gives a hard time to. RYB says, "God bless relative workspaces," and RYB says, "On a bus." Oh, okay. The places you guys watch. Andrew Loss says, imagine if we could change our username just for the stream, 10 plus snipers. Don't do that to me, guys. It's hard enough that Phil's brain doesn't work well enough as it is with your usernames. Don't make it hard for me. Vox1395, what a descriptive name here. Vox1395. Vox1395. I'm assuming it's this one here. And this one is a PBR material. So we want the metallic, and we want the roughness. And let's move on to the next one. This one is terrace rails. That's the one we want there. This one is a PBR material. Sniper Girl says, I always suck my metal roughness spec and height. I always stack my metal roughness spec and height under one RGBA texture map. Yeah, you can't use RGBA in View, not that I'm aware of. In the Unreal Engine you can, and that's a good idea to do that because you'll save on textures memory in Unreal. But in Eon View here, you can't stack them. You've got to have them as separate textures for their PBR workflow. RYRYB says, no worries, good here, almost home for the day. I'm good, thank you for asking, RYRYB. I'll just call you RY. I'm good, thanks. Sniper Girl says, doing well, anxiously sitting by email to see if one studio emails me about the art test. We've all got our fingers crossed for you, Sniper Girl. We all have our fingers crossed that you'll get the job. But like I said to you guys, don't get discouraged if you don't get the job you want, because, you know, it takes everyone a while sometimes to find work. This one is small outer decos. No, normal, that's the one I want. Small outer decos. This one here. And it is a PBR. So it will be this one for the metallic. And it will be this one for the roughness, yes. Okay, let's move on to the next texture. And this is Painted Rail Border 2. Painted Rail Border 2. Which will be this one here. This is not a PBR, so we can move on to the next texture. And this is Small Terrace Decos. Small Terrace Decos. This is a PBR. And the roughness, which I believe is this one here, yes. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We're almost at the end of all of our texturing here, setting up our textures, so shaders, so we can start doing some renders soon. Main steps painted. Main steps painted. Main step Toyota. The top. Main will be this one here. I'm pretty sure. Yep. But this is a PBR, so let's bring in the metallic and the roughness. Next one is large column caps. Large column caps. Again, this is a PBR. Actually, I don't think this is a PBR. Yeah, no, this one is not a PBR. So we're just going to switch it back to a normal material. Android lost as a magic. She's got this. Just face palming herself. This one is done, I believe, wasn't it? We did this one, didn't we? Large column caps. Yes. This one is statues rend painted. Statues rend painted. The normal map, this one as well is not a PBR, so it doesn't have rock or metal. This one is side walls R2. Side walls R2, side walls R2. This one here, again, this is not a PBR. Next one is a corner deco stag. Corner deco stag, again, this is not a PBR, so we don't have to worry about a rock or a metallic. This one is column deco metal. This one will be a PBR. Column deco metal, column deco metal. Column deco metal, metallic. And roughness. Which is this one. This one is ring test pond top ring. Wow, my names. Ring test pond top ring, which will be this one here. This is a PBR. Ring test on top metallic. And I believe it's this one, yep. Okay, next one. This one is border edge pond edge. Border edge pond edge, I believe is this one here, yep. This is a PBR. This one I believe is the metallic, yep. This one should be the roughness. Sniper Girl says the Gmail refreshes automatically. Sniper Girl's watching. We've only got 3 textures left here. So this one is small column caps. We are so close now. Small column caps, I think it was, wasn't it? Small column caps. And again, this one is not a PBR, so we don't have to worry about the roughness or the metallic. This one is inner pond circle, inner pond circle. Inner pond circle, inner pond circle, inner pond. I think it's this one here. I'm just going to double check that once I bring it in. Yep, but this one is a PBR. So we want the metallic and the rough. And we've got 2 left. And this one is Fountain Base New. I'm pretty sure this one actually isn't a PBR, so Fountain Pond New, I think it was called. I've looked at the chat and I forgot the name. I think it's called Fountain Pond New. Fountain Base New. See, now you maybe forget it. Maybe it's Fountain Base New. I'll pull that one in and I'll check. Fountain Base New, cool. And it's not a PBR, so let's move to the very last one now. And this one is called it's called Earn Center Base Color. Earn Center Base Color. Earn Center Base Color, metallic. Okay, this one is a PBR, so pull in the normal. Pull in the roughness, or the metallic I mean. And the roughness. Crate says to Sniper Girl, banter is quality banter, and Sniper Girl says, well, life's too short to be serious all the time, and Crate says agreed, and I agree as well. Life is too short to be serious all the time. And you know, life can be depressing enough, so it helps to be not serious all the time. I'm just going to do a quick, now don't judge the model by this render, because we still have to set up an environment and all that sort of stuff. But I am just going to do a quick render here, just in a lower quality to gauge what it looks like, to make sure we set our materials up correctly. That's what I'm trying to say. The look of the model will change quite a bit once we get the environment in, because it uses global illumination, so the reflections of the color and stuff will really help to bring the model to life. Once we get, you know, trees and grass and all that sort of stuff, and also once I change the lighting, whether when I change if I change the lighting at all. But it gives us, I'm using this at the moment just to make sure I've got all my materials set up correctly and I haven't done something, added the wrong material to the wrong slot sort of thing. That's the only reason I'm doing a test render here like this. The only thing I'm noticing that looks a little strange are the lines. The lines look a little bit dark, so I might have to look at that. I know we did a couple of revisions on the lion statues, so it may just be that I've got the wrong colour map loaded up. And actually something looks purple, so something there is not correct. Toward the base here I can see a purple colour before it's rendered it out yet. And that's not right.
What have I done? Can someone remind me? 'Cause to me this soul is just a blur. The last thing that I remember is the party, the nothing.
Sniper Girl says there'll be plenty of series when I'm 6 foot under. Plenty to be serious when you're 6 foot under. I agree. Well, it doesn't look amazing here in this render because this is just a very basic render. Once we get the environment in and we get some GI and stuff happening, it's going to look much better. You saw what it looked like in Max. It actually looked it looked better in Max in the HDRI viewport, simply because we were getting nicer lighting. The lighting here is very flat at the moment. I just got to want to try and work out why that purple bit is there. That should not be there. So I'm just going to select it and go through my textures until I highlight that purple bit. Which is this one here. Okay, I can say what I've done is I've added the normal map as the color map. That's what I've done by mistake. Circular steps final. And I even have the wrong, large terrace base sides. I'm going to copy this because the normal map is incorrect. It's here. And it's called large terrace base sides. Let's just load the right color map up here. Maybe the large terrace base side. I'm pretty sure it's that one. Yep. Let's just do another quick render. And then we should be good, I think. I think I've got all the right textures in the right slots. But yeah, depending on the atmosphere how I change the atmosphere here in Eon View is going to make a drastic differences to the look of the model. The actual atmosphere can make the model look quite different depending on what the atmosphere is or what the settings are that I've put on the atmosphere. So this render, we're using this just as just to get an idea, to make sure the textures are correct, that I haven't forgotten anything before we start actually making it look pretty. That's what I'm trying to say in a very long-winded way. Smurpery says, look at Mr. Fancy Pants with his ultra renders. Thank you, Andrew. Well, it's acceptable for a very basic render. Again, this is just so we can check that the textures are correct. The PBR materials are functioning properly. I haven't put the wrong texture in the wrong slot. That's what I'm checking here for this. Once I'm sure everything is cool, then we can start making it look pretty. What we're going to do is we're going to start by creating the environment, and then we're going to look at the lighting. I always leave the lighting pretty much to the very end, so I concentrate on making the environment. Once I have the environment the way I like it, then I start playing with the lighting, like the sun angle, clouds if I want them in the sky, all of that sort of stuff. I always leave that till the very end after I've made the actual environment itself. But I think it's looking okay. It should be fine. All the textures are okay. I don't notice anything apart from the lines. The lines are looking a little dark. I'm going to have to look at that. I think it could just be the texture map. I think because I made two versions of the texture map. I made the original, which is this one, I think, and then I also made a version where I did some gamma correction and lightened it up. And I think it's the second version that I need to load in. But I think we might leave it there for today, guys and girls. I do want to thank you all very much for hanging out with me and watching and putting up with me for getting texture names while I was setting up my PBRs. I do want to thank Kreitz and for the what is it called? The raid. And DCM Video for following the channel. Do remember, if you enjoyed this stream, to follow me on Twitch, because you can get a notification when I go live by following my channel. You can follow me on Twitter at PhilDoes3D, because I always post when I go live to my Twitter account. And don't forget, you can join the PhilDoes3D Discord server if you want to post links to your work or ask any questions regarding 3D. I'm going to be back on live again on Monday next week at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. So I'll be live on Monday next week. Thank you, Kreitz. I'm glad you liked the stream. I'll see you all next week. You guys and girls have a great week and a great weekend. Stay safe. And I'll see you all next week on Monday. See you guys.